All right, we're back. So why don't we once and for all? Does anybody have a problem if I say, let's do this in May? I mean, it's the regular time for it. It'll give us more time to really work through this.
Only question would be, how do we feel about this roof lasting? So if we went to budget, if we went to vote in May, when it could potentially be funded and the roof get done, do we think we will last that long? And if we don't, do we think we have emergency funds to do anything if we had to?
Well,
So I
so we
think-
haven't done the fund balance yet for 20, whatever it is, 22, 23, right?
We have
So-
not done that. That'll be probably the next meeting.
So the worst, I mean, at worst, we could use that for if we needed emergency funds to deal with the roof. I mean, we'd lose it from, the capital project.
I had contractors come out
We're gonna check with
to
you.
survey this roof already. The best way to go is they take infrared scans to view where the most damaged parts are on the roof, they can see moisture in the roof. And then they can use a price on patching to get it straight to this one.
I'd be hesitant to.
Especially the Main Street when you
Because
go
if we're gonna
by.
do penetrations and stuff again, that's better than.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's true.
I just want to make sure that we don't.
Yeah,
put
but
ourselves in spot.
I just don't know if doing it in November is gonna help us all.
I don't think it is. I agree.
We're not gonna be able to, by the time we vote on it, it will be through the winter before we can do anything. But if you can, John, ask, so before we make that final decision, you guys come back and tell us about the roof,
Okay.
all right?
Yeah, and I think we also need to talk about, whether we can use the emergency fund.
Okay, we're in check with Julie later.
Yes.
Okay. All right, I guess I should go back to the agenda.
Consent.
Where are we?
Consents.
All right, first is the consent agenda. Anybody have anything they want pulled? Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, any question, discussion? At some point, I'd like to, I mean, we don't have any choice. It's not like we can say, no, we're not taking your letter of resignation. But I would like to have an executive session, some discussion on why. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Okay, questions from the public, anything?
We do not have any.
Okay, board president, vice president's reports. I don't have anything.
I'm good.
Right, superintendent's report.
I will be brief. I did include most of everything, pretty plain language. So we will make recommendations next meeting for a new elementary position that we had discussed at a previous meeting. One thing that is new that will impact Dr. Watkins and I is the substantial equivalency for private schools. So we now have to confirm that students who are attending local private schools within our district are being afforded the equivalent educational opportunities. So that's a new responsibility for public schools. So we have 3 within our catchment area. Cardinal Hayes, which is an approved special education school. We also have Dutchess Day and Upton Lake. So this is a new process for us that we're working on, and we're following some lead from BOCES.
Does Millbrook School fall outside?
It actually falls in, it's an anemia, so it actually falls in the Weedotuck School District, I believe.
Okay.
So we will be doing that in the coming weeks, first identifying, and then I believe in December, we have to provide the information about the substantial equivalence. So we'll be working with their leadership in those buildings as well. We've identified recently a new screener and progress monitoring assessment for pre-kindergarten. So we had currently used the dial. And while that is a great screening option, we were using work sampling as progress monitoring. So we'll be buying the Brigance screener and an aligned Brigance inventory of early development. So it is on the state approved list for all of the areas in which they seek progress monitoring data for the pre-K. So it's used like criterion referenced inventory basically and normed screeners so that we have comparable data over time rather than work sampling, which is locally created. So we'll be utilizing that this year. And in the future, our new teacher orientation was originally planned for the 28th and 29th. Due to a conflict, we have to move it to the 30th and 31st. So I will be asking, Perry and Chris, if one of you would be able to come and greet our new teachers. That would be great. If not, another representative from the board would be awesome as well. So I appreciate the operations team and all the work that you've done this summer. There's so many great projects that are going on in the buildings. I know John has given a list and I know he plans to talk more about it at his next opportunity at next meeting. I do want to thank our teachers who worked through the summer scholars program. I know Dr. Watkins included this in her report as well, but I did share some pictures with board leadership and the kids just had so much fun. They did reading buddies. They did a lot of hands-on things this summer. So thank you to Samantha Bob, Samantha Hale, Devin Agnew, Joanne Hobson, Carrie Ann Troutman, Leslie Anson, Alec Joy, Cindy Rosenzweig, Adam, Laura Herzegovich, Anna Nairati, Michelle Patron. We had some substitutes. Ali Soriano, Murad Jorgensen, Danielle Granuzzo, and in the middle school, we had Ralcia Pruner and Diana Sipe as an aide. And we also had some folks who worked at Duchess Bosse's this year with some of our Millbrook students who are in programs there. So thank you to all of those. We are transitioning, as you've heard, to a new student information system, Synergy. We are deep in the work of that, looking to have all that up and running smoothly by opening. So that is something that the teams are working on. We also have submitted the emergency fund monitoring report, which was due to New York State. And we're waiting some feedback. This is, if you remember, this was our report on how we had spent and monitored all of the COVID funds. So we had to go back to the beginning of the COVID fund era, and we had to provide information that they didn't tell us we were going to need to provide. So it's putting together a lot of pieces of documentation that isn't necessarily in the format that they now decided they want, but we do have the information and we're providing it. So we're awaiting feedback and, we'll make whatever adjustments going forward that they expect. The IDEA grants for students with disabilities, 611, 619 have been submitted and we're in the process of review. We have done all of the work to submit our title grants. We're actually just waiting on 2 private schools to respond to us because we cannot provide any of that information to the state without signatures from them. Our pre-K grant is in process. We will be getting funding this year from both the state and I became aware of a federal government option as well. So we will be getting $5,400 per pupil for the total of our students. Just the state funds are capped at 26, so we'll be able to access federal funds as well. Old coaching sessions will be getting this year scheduled for 1 representative from each building and Samantha Holzborg as the district liaison. We will have Listen providing staff training on safeguarding students in the LGBTQ community. And we've also had some training in crisis management for our administrators, and our psychologists and counselors will be trained in this as well. And we also have mental health coaching at the end of August for some of our counselors and psychologists. So we're really excited to be able to offer that professional development over the summer to go into the school year with some new skills to work with. And at the next meeting, I just wanted to make the public aware that we will be having our public hearing on our code of conduct and also our district-wide safety plan, which is public. Our building safety plans are not public for security and safety of our students and staff. Those will be discussed only in executive session, but they are updated and ready for submission to the state. And that is all I have.
And what was the final count for pre-K?
So far we have, I believe, 29 that are fully registered and others that are on the list.
Cool. Any questions?
So are we going to 3?
We will be because we have, yeah, so we're just waiting for people to finish the registration process.
You can't get it either. I'm down as well. Go back to your agenda and refresh. Can you get your agenda?
Or is it
Maybe I
here?
shouldn't refresh.
Well, maybe you shouldn't refresh if you have it up now, because
I
I,
can still read, so I'm only in line with that.
All right, well, we'll have to do it by ear again.
So we have Elliot's report there that it is available for your review. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to review that now.
Oh, it's not working?
No.
Okay.
Can you throw it up? on the screen?
Let's see.
I got it. Just don't refresh.
I don't think I refreshed.
Yeah, I have to
What is
try
that?
and open it. I didn't have this open on my screen.
Hotspot.
I can keep working on it. Do you have it? Did you share it with me at no, mine's not open. I already had mine open, so. So funny. I usually put mine too. I didn't tonight, so it's open. If it comes back, I can revisit it.
Do you want to go to yours then?
Yep, I will do that. Okay, so, mine was talking about the website. I know Mr. Eads has been working on the layout, of the information that's been transferred. He has also been working to collect updated documents to ensure only current and up-to-date information is posted for the 23-24 year. That's a tedious job, so, we do welcome that once the site is live, if you're seeing something that doesn't seem that is up to date, we'd rather have you tell us so we can correct it for everyone. We are spending time trying to click on everything, just to make sure it's going to the right place. Synergy, Caroline already talked about the number of trainings. I believe Mr. Kirsch has already sent out an email. Thank you, Chris, for letting us know about that. So, there should be additional information coming regarding some videos that he said he was putting together for parents to help walk them through that system. In addition, again, thank you to the summer scholars. September 5th is our superintendent's conference day to welcome back all of our teachers. So we've completed the schedule. We have speakers coming in. A good portion of the day will be with Synergy, training the teachers on the basics of gradebook and taking attendance and whatnot. And then they'll also have time, elementary will be working with their math coach, Dr. Sobrin, and then at the secondary school, they're going to be working on some trainings that we did over with the admin team for the summer. In addition, P through 8 made the decision, based on teacher feedback and working with Dr. Sobrin to upgrade to Eureka 2. So we worked with Great Minds, who is the parent company of Eureka. And they were able to, for the consumables, just allow us to go to the Eureka Squared. And then for there's some different licenses for online tools, so that everyone will be excited. I attended an amazing conference on grants this past month in Albany, and so I'm working with Elliot because there's a few portals that we need to have access to in order for me to submit some grants, but hopefully I can do that. I wanted to publicly again thank the MEF for sponsoring grants for literacy coaches in K through 5. So I'm excited to welcome them into our district. Even though it seems like it was forever ago, the admin retreat in Saratoga was very successful. Are you able to-
I am, yeah.
Thanks. Was successful and the team really focused on the goals. We spent time, we met with IDE, which is Innovation and Designs for Education and Equity. If you recall, we purchased professional learning experiences for teachers. There's 2-year licenses with that. So I held on to them. There was a deal to get them last year. I held on to them for this year so that our teachers will be trained on those this year. But our principals had the opportunity over the summer to work with IDE to learn more. And there's additional training sessions that they have in on leadership and mindsets to support them in their building. And that'll be shared with the teachers, in October. Our whole professional development calendar for the year is planned out, so I'm very excited about that, that the teachers, the principals, everybody will know the trajectory of the journey that we have for our professional learning this year. Minute person, comfortable to me to have that all set. And we spent time just going through the Danielson rubric, and all of our administrators, except for one, have been trained with, the lead evaluator training.
Okay.
I can continue. Were you able to get, Elliot?
Elliot's
something?
is there. Can everyone review Elliot's?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to hear her.
Was there any initial community feedback on Synergy yet? Since emails have been going out?
No.
No, not yet.
Not that I've gotten.
I have one
Oh,
question about it
yes.
for exec session though.
Okay.
Security. Minute.
I can bring up Elliot if you would like me to. Yes.
Okay.
Does anyone want to see Elliot? Or are you good?
They can just read it.
Oh, talk to it. I don't know if you want to do it.
Yeah. So, he speaks about the business office, closing out the 22-23 school year. We do have our annual audit that is coming up on the 28th and 29th of this month. He also wanted to congratulate Amy Cross, who is our new senior account clerk. She was working in the business office. This is, a promotion for her, so she, was able to take that from account clerk to senior account clerk. So we're really excited for her. She's been a great addition to our staff here. So there's so much facilities work that's happening throughout this summer, and he defers to Mr. Mullins for that report in detail, and he wanted to thank the entire facilities department and team for all of their work. Our annual device replacement program is in progress through the technology department. He mentions the transition from the student information system, transitioning to a new website from, you'll remember, Blackboard, which is no longer an option, and we're moving to Final Site, yes. And then working with the multi-factor authentication, which will be rolled out for all staff at the start of this school year. So all of the infrastructure is in place for that change. And that is basically that we needed to have that authentication in order to maintain our insurance for cybersecurity.
So has that, because sometimes that, I mean, it's great, but sometimes dual authentication can be a pain in the behind.
It very much, yeah, I mean, listen, it's gonna be different, right? It's gonna
Have the
be,
teacher, I mean, have you run like a couple of, sort of a normal day in a teacher's life or whoever's life to say, they're not constantly, okay, little Joey, oh, shoot, I gotta do that again. Oh,
Right.
now, oh, wait a minute, I gotta do it again.
yeah, and so we do have some folks that are currently beta testing on it, but the reality is that we can't maintain our insurance without
Yeah,
it. So, we're going to have to work through whatever, bumps are in the road, but, things like this, unfortunately, there's bad actors out there, so things like this become required, right?
sometimes, I mean, if you're told about it and you see what a pain it is, you can get over it easier than day one of class, you're suddenly, what the hell is this? How do I get into my stuff? Okay, I just want to make sure that they're,
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
will, I'll definitely make sure that there's some more communication on that, to make sure that folks, know what to expect the first couple of days. There's two options. Some folks have opted to use the Duo app on their personal cell phones, and some have opted for a district issued token. So those two things are a little bit different in the way that they function, but either one is an okay option depending on what the staff member's comfort level is.
like I said, I'm just, it's Duo. It works great, but there's times when suddenly it's telling you to authenticate again, and you're just like, I just want to finish what I was doing. Just as long as, our staff is aware of it and understand what it's about.
Yeah, so we've been talking about it for a bit of time now. I'm not sure how much folks understand what it will mean in practicality, but unfortunately, one or the other option is going to be required in order for us to maintain our cybersecurity insurance. He mentions that the high school vestibule is, projects complete and the final closeout is in progress. And then, that we had been doing the project scope and development for the November capital project vote, which we know is a discussion ongoing, and also that there's a NYSERDA application for the EPC that's been preliminarily. And that's all from the.
That's all for your voice, too.
Right. Right in time.
Yeah. So we have John next.
Ready, John?
Afternoon, everyone. Just want to thank all the board members for giving me this opportunity
Yeah. Thank you, God.
to be the local central school district's new director of facilities and.
Well, that's great.
Caroline and Mendes.
Congratulations.
And Andy Watkins and Ellie Garcia.
Now we can be mean.
So I'm gonna be brief and quick with this.
Attaboy.
There's 3 items I want to add to the list. Chiller number 2 I had on the list. Additional parts were ordered. The guys were out yesterday and today, so we should have both chillers fully operational by the end of the week, which is great. That's great time since I've been.
That's great.
All district roof leaks have been identified. We still have Boland's roof and the middle school roof on the warranty. Middle school's gonna go off of warranty at the end of December. So that's why they're coming out patching whatever leaks we have, so they'll be identified. Boland's roof warranty ends 2027. We had a couple of leaks over there. So the company's been called to come out and take care of the leaks.
Okay, good.
There was some concerns with trees down at Elm, so I had 4 tree companies come out. And I received 2 estimates so far. I'm just waiting on the other estimates and then we'll take care of trees.
So I sent the thing from Tim about the trees that they took down, but then there's more that are on our property that are dying as well.
They're in pretty bad shape.
Yeah.
So that should be happening soon. You all have my report. I don't know if you have any questions on it. Unless you want me to read through, it's pretty long, pretty extensive.
Well, I mean, it's that time of the year. How close do you think you are to being ready? Everything
We'll
looking,
be ready. We'll have all teachers back. I already coordinated with the high school, the 2nd floor in the high school. We'll be completed by the end of this week, so the teachers will be welcome back to the 2nd floor. Only into the classroom to set up. First floor should be done by the following week, so the last week of August, they should, all teachers should be able to go back to the high school. Everything will be done. Middle school, 3rd floor is already completed. Teachers are welcome to come back and set up their rooms. 2nd floor, we have summer school, which ends tomorrow, so this hallway back here, we're very confident we'll be ready to go. There's a couple of projects, you might have walked down the hallway, might have seen the bathroom under construction. I'll get it done. So 25 years, 30 years doing this, the school's always been ready to open the back. But, I feel confident. Board members would like to do a walkthrough at any point in time.
yeah, we usually, October.
We usually do it before school.
Interested in bring John. I mean, it's always,
Last year, but I know we did. It's usually hard for us.
We all do it.
it's fun. You can torture John. What is that?
Walking around everywhere.
No, why don't we set up a couple of, date times
Yep.
and whoever can go if you're interested.
We just need the sign up because we can't have more than 4
I know, right?
Right.
Does anyone have any questions on what I did?
Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you, John. Thank you.
Are you up to another?
Yeah.
Alan?
Future agenda items. All right, so, I'm gonna call for an executive session, but before I do, we may come back from executive session with some actions to take. So just be aware, this is really for the public that, the meeting's not over just because we go to executive session. Anyway, do I have a motion to go to executive session?
So.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Good. All right,